Hello everybody! Welcome back to another muddy vlog. So I thought I would do the washing and then care for skin issues that I have had with him. Although at the moment I don't think he has any. If you're living in perpetual mud, it really is a good idea to wash everything off on their legs, around the fetlocks, coronary band, even up into the cannon bones, and check, right? Because those little fungus things, they can start, and then once they start, it's really hard to stop. So what we're gonna do is wash his legs, and then I'm gonna check everything, and if it's all good to go, I won't need to do the second and third steps, but I'll show you what I do. And everybody is different, and I mean, I have used different products on different horses that have worked and then worked not on other horses. So I think that it is very dependent on the horse, maybe even like the stuff that's in the mud outside and what it responds to. So, long story short is I'm going to use my things that work for me for here on him. And you can try those products, or you can use ones that you've also heard good things about or that you already have in your tack trunk. Okay, so let's get to it. The first step for me is to remove most of the mud using a tiger's tongue, and I just got a new one. Yay, awesome. So I'm going to show you how I do that, but it basically just scrapes the excess mud off, because I'm going to take him to the shower stall, and we try to be really polite about not putting a crap ton of junk in the drain. So I cleaned his legs off with this, which means they're still muddy, like they're still wet and you can still see mud. And if I let them dry, then I could brush them again. But I'm going to go wash them to make sure there is nothing fungusy happening. Right, bud? And I want to show you the shampoo I use. You can use whatever one you want. I happen to find this one. It's an iodine shampoo. I also really like chlorhexidine shampoo, or you can just get the gallon jug of chlorhexidine from chewy.com. It's only like 15 bucks, and just follow the directions for diluting it. Okay, so here we are in the wash stall. I understand that you might not have a wash stall, so if you're just using a bucket and a sponge, that is perfectly fine. Do what you need to do. I definitely like using the hose. We've got warm water there, and today was like a not freezing cold day, so it worked out just fine. If it was really cold, I probably wouldn't have done this, but it was perfectly fine because it was like, I think 40 or something like that, so he was all right. So I use the hose to really rinse a lot of the mud off first, and then I go in and I use my iodine shampoo, and I do put it on the tiger's tongue here because I don't think he has any issues. If he did have scratches and scabs, the tiger's tongue might be too rough. So you might want to use a really soft sponge or one of those micro fuzzy sponges, or even just your hand to apply the suds and stuff and really get it into the fur. I can use the tiger's tongue because I'm pretty sure he doesn't have anything. But if he looked uncomfortable, if he started to move around or move away from me when I was using it, I would definitely just go with using a soft sponge or my hand and check out what he was trying to tell me when he's moving away. So once I've determined if he has any scratches, I've discovered them because I've really checked his legs out. I let the shampoo sit for about 10 minutes and then I go ahead and rinse off everything, making sure I get it all off. And then I kind of squeegee his legs and then I will start drying them with a towel or a ShamWow. If you have one of those, they work really great too. They absorb a lot more water, but I have to make sure his legs are really, really, really dry. So I dried his legs off. I'm gonna have to dry his chest a little bit more. I was trying to let him play with the hose and then I forgot that it gets him all wet when we do that. It does, it gets you all wet, you silly bum. So luckily I have a solution for that too. I gotta refill it, got more at home. Coat defense powder, put it on wet fur, wet hair. And actually, this is really great for preventing rain rot, chafing and rubs, hives and sweet itch. So you can put this along their chest when they have blankets on. It'll help prevent them from getting rubs. I also can put it on his fetlocks and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to put it on his chest because I'm running out. Hopefully I even have enough to do that. But this is something that you can use, and I do really like it. And in the summertime when he's dry, I use it all over. See how dry it is now? Much better. So I can actually put his blanket on and not be worried that he is still wet. He's only very slightly damp. I'm not going anywhere yet, so I will let him dry a little bit more, right? Yeah. All right, I had to abort the earlier video about this because Logan started to pee on the cross ties. So I had to put him in a stall where he could continue peeing in peace. Yay. So he's not going to be part of the rest of this demonstration, but that's okay because you don't really need this demo. So what I do is I use a concoction of things on the legs after I've dried them. I will put directly on fungus stuff or scratches this stuff. It's called Animal Legends Tea Tree Aid, and I love it, love it, love it. This is a brand new jar. It's clear. It's just like a Vaseline consistency, and it's really soft and soothing. Doesn't seem to bother him at all. I put that directly on any of the yucky little things, and especially if there's like one of the scabs has come off, so then there's some open skin. I put that right on. I find that works really, really well. And then on top of that, I put this stuff. This is the E3 brand medicated wound care cream, and I don't have much of this left. I have to get more. I find it at Tractor Supply or online, anywhere really. It's antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. You can put it on all kinds of wounds. But what I really like about it is that it has zinc oxide in it. So that is like diaper rash cream. You can also just use diaper rash cream, but diaper rash cream doesn't have all this other good stuff in it. So then I put this on top so that there's a little bit of that zinc oxide that works as a barrier, because I've cleaned the leg, dried the leg, I put some stuff on directly, tea tree oil and the other things in this help to kill things, kill germs and stuff, and then putting this on top also kills fungus, but also has a protective layer. Now you can just opt for this. I find that it works really well, but because Logan often, his are like really big and scabby, I liked this to soften it a little bit more. This, because of its Vaseline consistency, really helps to soften up the scabs and get them to fall off. And then this over the top keeps it all from getting worse. And the reason I don't have a lot left is because I had to use it so frequently for scratches and his irritations over the summer. So I use it a lot. It's also an insect barrier, so you can put it on like their belly and stuff when they get those bug bite irritations. So I did use it a lot this summer. So those are the things that I use now for him. Here we are. This is Joan again. If you did not check out the blanketing video, you should, because Joan and her lovely horses, this is like 36-year-old Whiskey, who is still in tip-top condition because Joan is dedicated.
Dedicated isn't the word.
But she also gets scratches quite a bit, so Joan knows a lot about it. Tell us what you do, Joan, besides curse and get mad.
There's a couple of things that you can do. Okay, you can use MTG, which is nice because you don't have to wash their legs and make sure that they're clean. You can just get the worst of the dirt off and kind of just take something and make sure it's kind of mud free, and you put the MTG on, and that helps to moisturize it.
Gotcha. So
if
it's
they
good.
really are bad.
Uh-huh.
I had them super bad at this one barn I was at. My gelding had them really bad. And you slather, you clean off their legs, slather it with Furicin, wrap it in saran wrap.
You slather it with what?
Furicin.
Furicin. Oh, okay.
And then you put saran wrap that around it. It produces heat, but you have to put vet wrap over that and then a regular wrap over that. You take that sucker off the next day and they just all fall off.
Oh, so it just gets really rid of all like the scabs and makes it a clean slate.
So, yeah, and you might have to do that depending on how bad it is. Nuggets was all the way up his legs.
So you were like, yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
But those are my two go-tos.
Okay. So the MTG, if you can't do like washing and water, is really
Right.
great to use.
Yeah, and you can use it on a regular basis. It's really,
Works.
it really does work.
Okay.
Especially if you just have them, in a few places.
Yeah.
But the Furicin, if you have it all up and down the legs, a really bad case, that I'm going to tell you, that was recommended to me from a vet.
Okay, and say that one more. Say the steps of that one more time.
Okay, so you make sure their legs have to be clean and dry.
Okay.
You just slather that Furicin on.
Liberally.
Slather it, and then wrap it in saran wrap. And then you put vet wrap over that to hold the saran wrap and everything together. And then this way they can still go out. And then you put another wrap.
A bandage over it, like a
bandage,
standing
like
wrap.
a standing wrap over that. And you do that for a couple days. They just fall right off.
And do you like have to change that every day, or can you leave that on for?
Well, it depends on how your horse is.
Okay.
I mean, you could possibly leave it on for one day and then take it off. I think I changed mine daily because I wanted to. I mean, I just couldn't believe it.
They just all came off.
They just all fall off.
And then you have a clean slate.
Yeah.
And that's like.
Yeah.
Then you just have to protect the new skin and keep it from coming back.
Keep it from coming back.
Yeah.
Hose.
Thank you, Joan.
You're welcome.
All right, so I hope those are helpful. If you have any suggestions that work for you, please put them in the comments, because as I said, certain things work better for certain horses and in other climates and stuff like that. So please, if you've got some suggestions, we could all use them. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon.